All right, we will start things off with a question from Mark Narducci.
Good evening, Doc. I know they didn't have Tatum these two games, but is there something that you learned out of these two games from your team against, one of the best teams in the Eastern Conference?
Yeah, I mean, we got to win. Mark, it doesn't matter who they have or who we have. You got to just win these games. And they're a quality team and a well-coached team. They have lethal scorers on the floor. What I was proud with, it was one of those frustrating games, a lot of junk in the game. You could see it, and we lost our composure for a second and got it back and made runs. That's what you have to do. You're going to lose it sometimes, but to be able to get it back and then make runs was great. I thought that the defensive unit we put on the floor that last 5 minutes, they were phenomenal. And then Ben down the stretch, that was awesome.
Thank you.
Next question comes from Kai Carlin.
Hey, what's going on, Coach? I wanted to get your opinion on Tobias. It just really looks like he's really morphing into a catch-and-shoot three-point shooter. His offensive game is expanding a little bit more. What are you seeing out of him? Is there any adjustment or anything? Or?
No, we stay on him. It's the same thing in L.A., just quick decisions. If you catch it, shoot it. If you catch it, drive it. If you dribble it, pass it. It's pretty simple for him. And when he stays in that formula, he is unbelievable. He's a train going downhill. He's got a beautiful shot. It's when he hesitates and guys get into him is when he gets himself in trouble. He had a couple of those tonight, but I love how he's playing. I love with the confidence that he's playing. He's rebounding too this year for us. So he's just doing a lot of stuff. He's been great.
And then there were a couple times where he kind of went into what you called his bag of tricks a couple times. Did you like that? Or
No, I don't like that. But, every once in a while he'll get away with it. But it's not something that we want to get used to. But it's going to happen, and that's fine. He is talented enough to do it. I just don't think he's efficient when he does it.
Thank you, Coach.
Up next is Lauren Rose.
Doc, you mentioned Ben down the stretch. Just how big was he for you guys in that fourth quarter?
He was huge. And it was both ends. He made some passes today. I got to tell you, they cut it, I don't know, to 6 or 7 or whatever, and Ben pushes the ball up the floor, skips it across. We get a 3. I think it was Tobias. I'm not sure who it was. Then he goes down the lane twice. Then he comes up with a steal. Down the stretch defensively, we put him on Brown. We probably should have done that earlier in some ways, but we had so many guys in foul trouble that we were a little concerned by it.
Next question comes from Keith Pompey.
Doc, what do you think the major difference was with Ben tonight? This is the Ben that we were used to seeing over the last couple of years, and he just always didn't do that, this season. What do you think the biggest difference was?
He didn't do it until the end of the game tonight, but he was already playing great, and that's the point I'm trying to make to everybody. He's doing so many things for this team. His winning formula is amazing in all the things. Last game, he got no credit, and he was so important to why we won that game with all the things he's doing, the little cuts, the little back picks, the rows and passes. Ben does a lot, and so he can't focus on one thing, like focusing him on just scoring. He's too good for that, to me. It would be a waste if that's all we focus on for him. What I did like is he went downhill tonight more and finished at the basket. That's what he has to do. That's what we're working on.
Yeah, that's what I was talking about, more so than scoring. He just seemed way more aggressive.
Yeah.
Just more aggressive.
Yeah, and he showed a lot of leadership. Down the stretch, we kind of let him back in the game. And Ben was upset, and he showed that. And, it was good to see that emotion. He was mad at guys, and they saw that, and that's good.
Well, what about Seth? What do you think about his performance?
I was surprised. I guess when I never could shoot. So I guess when you can shoot, Keith. I guess you can take 10 days off or 2 weeks off and still make shots. Because at the beginning of the game, I was like, this guy has missed games. I was surprised how well he shot the ball and how good his rhythm was.
All right, thanks, Doc.
Next question comes from Paul Hudrick.
Hey, Doc, you mentioned to us before about closing out quarters and how that was kind of a sticking point for you. In that third quarter, you had that bench unit plus Tobias, and they kind of, with Joel out of the game, kind of got the score back up. What did you see out of that unit in that stretch?
Again, it happened in the first game as well. Paul, I thought that was the biggest point in the game. Joel's in foul trouble. We needed to get guys some rest, Ben or Tobias, and we go on a run. And they, when Joel comes back in, we're up 11. I thought that was the difference of the game.
Thanks, Doc.
Next question comes from Austin Krell.
Hey Doc, so Joel goes down hard late in that game. Do you anticipate he'll make the flight to Detroit or he'll play this weekend?
Yeah, I do, but I don't know yet. It's a little early, so we'll find that out. But I have no idea yet.
Up next is Bob Schrawn.
Hey, Coach. A good game. Coach, can you talk about Joel and his performance tonight off of the game on Wednesday? Was huge. And also, can you talk about in the context of his and Ben's leadership and how you guys are evolving as a unit?
Yeah, we're just growing. You can see it. When you look at Joel's numbers, 11 for 15. Didn't force it a lot, made some great plays out, let it come to him. Down the stretch when they started trapping him, instead of wanting the ball, he actually was trying to get the ball to move the ball. It says so many things to your teammates. You have 39 or 38 and you know now you're going to be a passer. It just says a lot. And then when Ben got it going, it was Joel that wanted to call the pick and rolls to get him going more. So I just like how the chemistry of this team, it grows each night. Doing COVID is hard to try to get chemistry. And you can see it growing.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Thanks.
We'll take two more, starting with Jackson Frank.
Hey, Doc. Couple of big scoring games for Jaylen Brown. A couple of games. I'm curious what you've seen from his offensive development in the brief games you've coached against him and during his tenure in the NBA.
He's just tough. He's terrific. I mean, he makes hard shots too. Obviously, if you give him a three, he's a dead-eye knockdown three-point shooter. I don't think he was that when he first came in the league, and now he is. But where his biggest improvement and where they've really developed off the dribble, he's really tough. Great in-between game, great all the way to the basket, great threes. When you have all three of those things, you're one of the better offensive players in this league, and he is.
Last question comes from Michael Luongo.
Thank you. Doc, one of the things that this team has done a number of times so far this season, it seems to have stepped up the defense in the second half, especially when they had to. How nice is it to have a team to know that you can kind of do this when you have to ratchet it up defensive-wise?
It's been great. I mean, it's what we have to be. We're not going to outscore teams every night, Your offense is going to fail you on certain nights. But when you can lean in on your defense, and we've done that at least 4 games this year, maybe more, where we needed stops and we've gotten them, nothing brings a team together more than defense. And you can see that growing.
Thanks, Coach.
Thanks, guys.